and welcome back. Well, I'm heading down the road with the big disc on, so I'll soon be pulling in the field. We got all of our chisel plowing done. That was about 45 acres or so we got that job finished up. So we got the disc on this tractor. I've got the 30-foot disc on the 4840. So I'll see you guys at the field. Well, I'm rolling in the field. This field here is about 20 acres or so. But this here is actually first time over. The reason why is you can see we're getting quite a bit of that green stuff right there wanting to grow. And across the road over there, you can see on the neighbor, that looks like 1970s green shag carpet. And so this here will be first time over, then we'll go over and hit it again, second time, and then plant. Second time over, I will have the crumbler on the back of the disc to help level things out more. But like I said, we got the chisel plowing all done on that wheat stubble, so that job's done out of the way. And now we're working up what will be corn ground for this year. We've not started planting. I checked the ground temperature this morning and it's still running right around about 56 degrees approximately, and we like to let that get on up to about 60, low 60s. It just helps with better seed germination for helping it to sprout and grow better. That way when you drop the seed in the ground, you're not dropping it into cold ground. You're just dropping it into warm ground. It drops in. You can take right off and get growing fast. Got a drain tile inlet coming up right here. Got to pick up and go around it. Here several years ago, I got reading in a farm magazine, and if I remember, I think that he was a farmer out in Illinois. But he said he would not start planting until his soil temperature hit 65. He said a lot of his neighbors all thought he was crazy, because he would start about a week or so after all his neighbors started planting. But he said the thing that would happen by doing that is that his corn would come up fast, and it would come up and it would be just as tall as his neighbor's corn was, because it didn't have to try and work against the cold ground. It just plant it and grow. And so that's kind of what we like to shoot for. Maybe not quite 65, but definitely getting into the low 60s on the ground temperature. Got another tile inlet coming up here and here. For this ground, I actually had to take and set the depth of the disc in just a little bit more. So far it's doing a good job working up the weeds and digging all that chickweed out, that hen bent and all that kind of stuff. There's a little weeds, got like a little purple flower. I'm not exactly sure what they call that. Looks like I may need to take and put the basket back on that thing. I'm not sure how them baskets get knocked off. Seems like deer come along and I don't know if they run into them or what. So far, I like the job that this disc is doing. This is that one that I bought off my neighbor that I've done videos on, repacking wheel bearings and that kind of stuff. Also rebuilding the hydraulic cylinders. So far that's really helped. No more hydraulic leaks coming out of the end of the cylinder right around that ram where the ram comes in and out. However, one problem that I'm having, and he actually told me this when I bought it, is on the left-hand side, the wing is, I'm having trouble with it, with trying to get it to want to run level, and I know why. I actually found out, because he told me when I bought it, he said he always kind of had trouble with the left wing not wanting to run level. And on a Case 496 disc, you have 4 hydraulic cylinders. One cylinder on both the left and right wing that controls those wing wheels, and then you have 2 cylinders in the middle that control the middle wheels. And so you got 4 cylinders total. The middle 2 on the raise, or actually on for your up and down, the 2 middle cylinders control the way they're plumbed in, the way the hoses are routed. The middle 2 cylinders control each of the 2 wing cylinders. And what's happening, it's actually a manufacturer defect. After he told me he was having trouble, at first I thought it was just the cylinder internal oil leak by around the packing of the cylinder that was causing the left-hand wing to droop. Well, come to find out, in the middle, and when I jump out up here and check this tile inlet, maybe I'll show you. But the way that it was welded together when Case made the disc, it's not welded properly, which is causing the left-hand middle cylinder to extend differently. Well, and that does that, it throws the left-hand wing off as well, because like I say, that the middle cylinder controls the left-hand wing. So I'm going to stop up here and check this inlet and put that basket back onto it, so maybe I'll show you what the problem is. Okay, I'm back here with the disc. Like I say, this here's the line coming from the tractor. It comes into the back of this cylinder. Each of these middle ones, same thing. It comes right off the middle, and it tees right there and goes both ways. And it goes into the back of the 2 middle cylinders. Right here's the problem. It's really hard to see on camera, but this ear where the cylinder hooks onto, and that ear over there are not in line. It's really hard to see. That one over there is slightly this way more than this one over here is. So right now, they should be together. Instead, they're sitting like that. And so the left-hand side is back farther. Well, what that does with this cylinder being in just a little bit more, because the way the hydraulic lines are tied together, it causes that cylinder to want to run a little bit lower than what it should. So I've actually had to just I threw some cylinder stops in there to level it up. But like I say, when it was welded together and built, it was not built straight, and so that's the problem. And I'm not exactly sure how to fix it, because like I say, this here is all welded, this big tab piece right here, and so who knows, I may talk to a machine shop or something like that and just see if they might be able to give me some ideas as to what to do with it. Well, that basket got knocked off good. Kind of smashed a little bit. Ah, well, we'll get him shoved back down in there. He'll be good to go. We always take and put these little fiberglass stakes around the tile inlets. That way you can see them. Some guys like running either steel post. You just got to watch. You'll end up sliding your hand on that because you'll get fiberglass splinters. Man, them things hurt. But some guys like to run steel post or those big orange risers. We don't like them because with a stake you can drive over it and it'll pop back up, or you can run your planter marker over it and that kind of stuff. Just a whole lot more convenient. But like I was showing you there on the disc, I actually talked to I called the case dealership just out of curiosity to see if there had ever been any kind of recall on the case 496 because of that, and they said there hadn't. And so not really a whole lot I can do as far as that goes. I mean, so far though, running with those cylinder stops around the cylinder, it does work, even though it is kind of a pain, because every time you change, right in the middle you got those depth control settings. Every time you change that, you got to change those cylinder stop spacers to adjust for it. That way it keeps it running level. Okay, well, I'm about done with these long rows on this field. That is one nice thing with this big disc, you can cover the ground. And then back we get running the 30-foot disc, because we got this 33-foot. We have a 30-foot 490, and we also have a 33-foot 490 as well. In fact, that's the one I did a video here a couple weeks back where I was welding on the frame with that big welder. That's a 33-foot also. But right now we've got the 30-foot on the 14840, and when we have both that one and the 33-foot running, we can do about 25 acres an hour, so we can cover ground. And so Dad's going to be heading out this way here after a while. I know he had some pigs coming in today, because usually about every year or so he'll get about a half a dozen butchering pigs. So He had them coming in today. In fact, I think they're actually coming in this morning. Oh, got a stick I'm going to have to jump out and grab. Right there's another tile inlet. This field's got quite a few of them. But hey, that's what gets the water away. Back here about a year or so ago, I went down along this woods line with the backhoe and cleaned up a bunch of brush and got it all opened up. I'm finishing up this end row here along beside the road. Now I go back down along the woods and catch in and do this little short roads. Field lays out in kind of an L shape for the most part. I am seeing though, sure enough, we're getting quite a bit of that hemlock. In fact, right over there is a patch of it, and back there by that one power pole is another big patch of it. That stuff's very aggressive. And the thing is, well, from what I understand, it actually kind of puts like kind of like an acid into the ground right around it, and basically kills off anything else growing. And so nothing else can really compete against it, so it just keeps growing and growing. But yeah, we got it. You see it everywhere, especially along ditches, roads, fields, that kind of stuff. It's really taken over. In fact, I would be curious to know if anybody else out there has it. So if you do, drop a comment, let me know. I'm just curious. Well, I just finished up the field that I was in, and I've moved on to another one here. This here is about 10, maybe 11 acres. It's got a little small house over there in the corner that we got to farm around. I just got a text from my dad, and he was getting ready. He got his pigs in, so they're all unloaded and put into their pig pen. And so he's going to jump on the 30-foot disc and go work in a small field here before lunchtime. And then after lunch, we're going to move on to a 40-acre field and then jump on farther north after we get that one done. Back here in this little 10-acre field, here several years ago, my dad and I, we were putting some drainage tile in out here. And about right through here, we're in and out of that power pole, and going right across over to the neighbors over there. It's kind of a low spot, and so that's where the tile was. And one odd thing, sure enough, we got into as we were digging with the backhoe, sure enough, we were digging into an old tree. And I would say it was probably down about, roughly about a good 3 feet or so. But it's almost like we're digging alongside the main trunk of it, because we were digging through old tree branches. So that's kind of neat. I'm guessing guys that install tile full time with tiling machines and that kind of stuff, they probably see that all the time. Well, I just got done with that little 10-acre field right over there around that little house, and I jumped on their side of the neighbor's field, and now I'm here in this 40-acre field. So it's about lunchtime, so I'm going to stop for lunch, and we'll see you back here after a while. And my dad should be heading down here also with the 4840 and the 30-foot disc, and we'll get this field knocked out in good time. Well, we'll soon be done with this 40-acre field. Dad's over there with the 4840 and the 30-foot disc. It makes it nice. We're definitely covering ground. Like I say, when we're both running, I'm guessing we're running about 25 to 28 acres an hour approximately. I know Dad told me last night he was kind of calculating on the one field that he was at, and he said just running with that 30-foot, he's covering about 15 acres an hour. And I know with a 33-foot, if I remember right, I know I've done this field right here. That would be with the other 33-foot disc that we have. And if I remember right, it seems like it was right about 2.5 hours, maybe about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And so with this one here, I'm running about, roughly about 18 acres an hour, not quite 20 acres an hour. It's not too bad. Since this is the first time going over the field, like all the sand hills and that kind of stuff, and back over this way, I pick up and go over them. That way, when we get strong winds, it doesn't take them blow the sand and blow the dirt away. It just helps with erosion and that kind of stuff. Got some clouds moving in. They're calling for rain tomorrow. Today's Saturday. They're actually calling for possible chance of snow flurries on Monday. I hope they miss it. Well, this field's about done. I'm doing the end row, and Dad's right there, finishing up the last straight. So I'll see you when we get moved over up to the next field. Well, we made it up to the next field. It's kind of triangular shaped. This field here is about 18 acres or so. And then we got the ditch right here. And then once we get down this little field, we'll move across the ditch over into that next field right there right there. That's actually a fair sized drainage ditch, as you can see. Here come one of the neighbors down the road. That's a big disc. I'm guessing that's a big 40 foot. It's a big blue one, so it's a big Landau. There's Dad over on the south side. And like I say, once we get down this field, we'll go around and we'll go across that ditch and work on that big field over there. So, well, I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to call that an end to this video. So take care, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.